Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Titans of Allestria, a 5th edition actual play podcast for gamers of all ages. And oh boy, are we in the middle of something. Going around the table, we have
Joan,
Delvin,
Winnie,
Relnor.
All right, we're going to jump right in. You guys are battling an undead, draconic creature that looks like the Titan version of the Red God, Kamisol. We had one round of combat last episode, and it was intense. And we're going to jump right in. You guys are in the air atop the airship Harris, which is Winnie's ship as the captain for the Bloodbreakers.
oh, wondrous me.
We are back at the top with Relnor. You are leaving your room. I will say, once you go out into the hallway, probably like several doors down, you'll see that arm. Like
3
in the
doors
ship.
down?
Yeah. You can either choose to go up to the top of the deck with the stairs, or you can take the Dolphin route and just head to where the arm is.
Are there still undead coming off the arm into
yes.
the...
No, they
Okay.
would have been out of range of Joan's attack, so they are like breaking into rooms. You can hear people yelling, and
Yeah.
there's some fighting going on in the hallways.
All right, I'm going to try to help people down here. So I'm going to run forward, and as soon as I start seeing undead, I'm going to...
I'll say there's like 3 in the hallway right in front.
Oh, sweet.
Some more further
Let's
down.
do some attacks. First attack is a 23 to hit.
Yes.
Ooh.
Second attack is a 10 to hit.
Yes.
And
That is it.
third
Nice.
is a 25 to hit.
They all hit.
Okay, so let's roll damage.
Beautiful.
22.
Obliterated.
Turn to the next guy, 19.
Also obliterated.
And the last guy, 19.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Triple kill.
basically you bust its head off. And I'm gonna say you keep running past it, going down the hallway, just popping heads. And
You gotta be moving to save people.
yep, it is now Winnie's turn. Winnie,
Yeah.
we'll say Joan is on the lower deck part, closer to the Dracolich.
Okay.
From your vantage point, you're able to see kind of everything going on.
Yeah.
It does seem to be somewhat dazed,
Yeah.
so anything you do will have advantage,
Okay.
and it will have disadvantage if it has to roll on its end. I will remind you, you are frightened.
Yeah. So I don't have advantage then.
Technically, you do, but you also have disadvantage, so it's just a straight roll.
So we're back to square one.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna use the wand of fireballs.
That was something you got from Michael Reed, if memory
Yeah,
serves.
that's right. So
I
it's
would
not.
say you've probably spent it several times, but you've got it recharged and ready
Yeah.
to go.
Okay, sweet. So I'm gonna use that. It's like casting fireball, except I have more charges, which is fun.
Shout out to the podcast I Cast Fireball, who let me guest on their show for a little while.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shout out. I cast fireball. Again, I'm having to shoot up in the air, or like sort of parallel to the ship, because I don't want to light anything on fire. We don't need that on our plate too. All right. So each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a dexterity saving throw. A target takes 8d6 fire damage on a failed save. So it's exactly the same as the lightning one, except now it's
I think that's smart because you're taking yourself out of the equation. So rather than it being an attack,
Yeah.
so it still has disadvantage.
right. It's a 3rd level spell. I'm going to cast it at 5, which gives me 2 more d6s for damage.
nice.
So
What's your DC modifier? That's or your spell save modifier, I should say.
yeah, so it's 16.
Oh, that's good.
Okay,
That's good.
15.
Nice.
Just under.
I mean, they still take half damage if I miss, which is why I love these.
Yes.
But
What I like is you're filled with fear, but very expertly you rely on a magical tool rather than your own casting ability.
I'm shaking, but I'm
You are no stranger to fear.
That's great.
Ned Stark said the only time a man can be brave is when he's afraid.
36 this time.
Okay, fire damage. Amazing. Yeah, you cast out a blazing fire from atop your spot, and Dalfin, I would like you to roll me.
That's cool.
Oh, I do have.
no.
It's
it
not
doesn't matter.
it's not
I'm
to
good.
avoid the fire. It's just to avoid
okay.
this whole creature is now shaking. So
Yeah.
I want you to
Gotcha.
roll just a dex.
Oh, okay. So I
saving
was gonna
throw.
say because I have sculpt spell, so I can it gives him.
I also have evasion, so if I fail, I take half. If I succeed, I don't get.
You're not in danger of the fireball.
Okay, got
The
it.
thing I
Yeah.
want you to check for is how good you are at hanging on. You can choose to do strength if you want to just grab, dex to try and balance,
Probably dex
or
saving throw.
acrobatics.
And that's a nat 20.
Okay.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I'm so dexterous.
So dexterous.
A nat 20.
I am so on top of this dragon.
As you kind of pivot to stay on top, you drag your blade through another section of the tendon.
So cool.
And the dragon actively, both from the hit and then that tear in its shoulder, kind of like almost lurches, and you can hear the scraping of its lower feet trying to like keep traction and stay on the ship. Anything else, Winnie?
Nope.
Okay. It is now the Dracolasian's turn.
Dracolasian.
Dracolasian.
It is absolutely stunned. It basically doesn't do anything. Dalphin, it definitely seems to be losing its grip on the ship.
Cool.
And it is your turn.
I'm going to sprint up to its head.
Okay, you rip your dagger out of the shoulder and sprint up to the head.
And then I'm going to stab it a couple times.
No biggie.
We'll say you can use your full move, not a double move, just regular full movement.
Yeah, I'm just running
to get to the head.
Up there.
Yep.
So I will attack with my crystalline dagger.
Are you disengaging to avoid the attacks of undead creatures?
I'll spend another key to activate my Step of the Wind.
Okay.
I'm not going to use the dash feature, but it does allow me to disengage while I run.
Because there are still other creatures on it. So
I'll spend another key here.
You get up to the head. It's a huge head. So
that's 22 to attack.
Yeah, where are you attacking on the head?
The head, on the base of the head. Like I want to go for like the.
Okay, like the spine.
Like the brain
where the neck hits Okay, go ahead.
Where they attack the Titans.
That was a hit.
Okay, that's 11 crystalline slashing damage, and then I'll attack with Winnie's dagger. That's 11 to hit.
That is not a hit.
So I don't get through the skin. So after I take the attack action, I can spend 1 key to make 2 more unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Okay.
I did 2 attacks with my knives. Now I'm going to bring my feet down.
And you did Fury of Blows?
Fury of Blows, spend another key. 2 unarmed strikes on this guy. 17.
It's a miss.
And 19. 17 is a miss?
17's a miss. 19 is a hit.
Okay, so I hit 1. And that is going to be 10 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And I am also going to...
Bludgeoning damage with a dagger?
No,
you're punching.
These are unarmed strikes. Now I'm using my feet.
You're kicking.
So I'm bringing my feet down on this guy. I'm like doing like a heel drop and like
or
like an elbow, or like I'm doing.
All right.
So
I mean, unarmed strikes in my mind, you're not armed, but you are armed.
Unarmed strikes can be with my head, can be with my feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a monk. So
cool.
Yeah.
I like
so
the
you need
idea
to roll
that you
something?
stab him and then kick.
Well, I'm gonna do.
Kick.
Is it now? Is he still? Was he stunned or paralyzed? What was it?
Stunned.
He's still stunned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does that mean he has disadvantage to things?
Yes.
Okay. So I am going to do. Using my Way of the Open Hand,
automatically fails.
Whenever I hit a creature with one of these
Strength
attacks
saves.
granted by my Fury of Blows, I can impose one of the following effects. It must succeed a dexterity saving throw, be knocked prone. It must make a strength saving throw. If it fails, I can push it 15 feet away. I don't know if that's practical. Or it can't take a reaction until the end of my turn. I'm going to try and knock it prone.
Okay.
Does that mean it would release the ship?
Yeah, it would fall.
So I'm going to, if it succeeds on dexterity saving throw, which does it automatically fail?
Automatic fail.
Oh yeah, then I'm gonna prone it. I'm gonna prone this undead dragon.
Okay. Yeah, you do. So, using your daggers to help yourself along, climbing up to the top of the head, you kind of just like get both your daggers in, not like in any kind of wounding way, just to kind of hold a grip, and you slam your head into the forehead of the dragon.
Sure.
Like a little plume of petals kind of poof out from where your head hits. Everyone hears this loud crack, massive, like almost like a crack of lightning or like a tree breaking and falling to the ground.
Jeez.
And at that same hit, like you're able to kind of like kick off. And I would like you to roll me an acrobatics check.
Okay. That is 12 plus 8, 20, dirty 20.
So you're able to kind of jump off if you do that blow, because you can feel the whole thing start to slowly lurch, and you leap back onto the ship.
Can I throw a kunai with a rope
Where?
to the ship? Can I reach the ship from the head?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool. I'll just jump.
Yeah, you're able to leap off onto like the railing of the ship.
Awesome.
Nice.
Parkour.
And the Dracolich now starts to like plummet down. And so its arm kind of like slides out, and Relnor, as you're kind of getting there helping to fight off some last undead, you see its arm just kind of like sling through the hole and just like slide out, pulling some of the remaining undead with it. And it lurches and falls and goes into the clouds below. And it's now kind of, there's some sounds of combat still happening, but
A few little lingering undead.
Joan.
Can I see?
Are we out of combat? Or are we still?
Technically, yes, but it is Joan's turn in the combat, so I want to, just to kind of finish this out, is there anything you want to do?
Do I? No.
Because technically speaking, it is falling, so like...
It's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you could, it's still within reach of probably most of your spells. It hasn't like...
Okay.
It's just gonna be prone for a turn, which is how
Yeah.
long?
6-7 seconds.
Yeah, you can fall
Okay.
quite a bit.
And
I'll
we're actively moving too. Our ship is moving.
I'll cast. I'll go over to the edge so that I can see it, and I'm not gonna accidentally hit the ship with this.
Yep.
And I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Ooh, go for it.
Love it.
The target has to succeed on a Dexterity saving throw.
Go ahead. What does it need to roll?
It needs to make a Dex saving throw.
Critical fail.
Great.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
Well, I guess it didn't matter.
That was one of those rolls where like the dice just landed and didn't roll. And I'm like, come on.
It's like
I mean-
the One Ring.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, Ricky. The guy's half dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I only
His heart's not in it.
I only got it with
Literally
9
not.
radiant damage.
And what's the attack do? It's like a.
Flame-like radiance descends on a creature.
Okay, amazing. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Huh?
21.
Okay.
Wang.
Well done. As
Josh is so bummed out.
I am.
Sorry, Chad.
It's so
okay.
funny because he's so good at like being on our side as a DM, but he's also so
I
sad when
just
he
like
doesn't get to do cool things.
Well done.
Well, Joan, let me present you with a choice here. So, as the dragon falls, it does whip its tail around at you, and you can still sense like a piece of Justin inside this creature,
Yeah.
and you know it's not dead; it's just falling to the ground. You can choose to plummet with it, or you can get out of the way of the tail and avoid being swept down.
Why would you?
Can I see any of them?
You can see, yeah.
I'm on the railing on the top.
Yeah,
now.
Dolphin's right next to you, real close, but
Yeah.
not close enough for the tail.
I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna yell at him and I'm gonna say, "I gotta go."
Can I? Do I have a reaction? Is she in my space?
No, this is past your turn. I think no, she's
I
not.
don't get a reaction?
But can
Oh, you
I?
can respond.
But can I hold my orb up when I say it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my orb up because we've talked about this. I've been
Yes.
trying to bond, but I have to die in order.
So, Joan, rather than getting hit by the tail, what you're going to do is you're going to turn, look at Dolphin, say that, and the tail swings by, and you just grab it with one hand and whoosh off the side of the ship.
That
I
feels
go,
good.
Joan!
That feels good. Yeah, I like that.
Can you yell "Fly, you fools"?
No.
That was what I was going for. I was like, a cool, like, grabs her, but, like, she's too skilled. I can't do that.
Well, no.
She's like, dodge
you
it.
keep critically failing.
You're right.
That's what's
I'm
happening.
just rolling
It's
really
not because
bad.
I'm skilled. It's because you're rolling
You
poorly.
rolled a good dex.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so Relnor, as you're kind of at the gaping hole of Dolphin's room where like the Harriman come in, you see the creature fall and then whoosh, there goes Joan, like right past your vision.
But he saw me hold up the orb.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I don't fully grasp what's happening right now. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, and they
Same with Winnie.
plummet. Dolphin, after you yell, you hear suppose in a what's going on?
Put down your overslept,
What?
you fat bull.
Did something happen?
Yes, an undead dragon
And
took Joan away.
As Dolphin continues to yell, we're gonna jump to Joan plummeting to the ground.
Bow.
There's like undead creatures flying by you, just going like, like,
Whoa.
they, like fly. And you can feel like the wind whip, and then as you kind of burst through the lower layer of clouds, you can then see the ground below. And you actually are not very far off from Allestria. You guys were really close to Allestria. And so this is, you're plummeting down. You can see the city off on the like several miles away.
The Undead Dragon Express.
As like the ground starts to slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger. What are you thinking? You have a moment to think, I suppose, or do something before you hit.
Can I do a wind sound effect?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that doesn't work well with the mic. Sorry. Yeah.
I have Speak with Dead, but it doesn't work on undead.
For actually talking to dead people.
Yes.
It's like for sixth sensing them.
You
Is
do have
Justin
message,
dead?
don't you?
No, I do not.
Or,
We don't know.
oh,
He's
you're
undead
sending?
right now, apparently.
I do not.
I have
She has
sending
them.
and message.
I have Suggestion, Command, Identify.
You could speak out loud
Augury.
with your regular voice.
Yeah.
Could you command the dragon?
You could
I'm gonna go. What has gotten into you, Justin? Double meaning.
Incredible. Roll me a religious check.
Can I use my inspiration to
You
re-roll
can't?
it?
Did you critically fail?
No, it was a 7.
Okay.
It just doesn't feel.
Yeah, use your
Well, let me
inspiration.
see what my modifier is for religion. Hang on, I don't even know. Oh no, it's a 13. I'm not gonna use my inspiration.
7 plus 13. That's a dirty
No,
20.
7 plus 6.
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
a 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. You reach out to Justin, and from the vestiges of that one moment of connection you have, you do kind of sense him responding, and he will respond telepathically to you.
Yeah. Spirit to spirit.
Yeah. And he says, Joan, I'm barely hanging on. After all I remember is my brother killing me, and then eyes of white. She tore me from death, placed me back into this form. I'm not fully in control. I don't know what to do.
Do you know where she is?
He's struggling. I mean, he has to roll.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Sears would be a wisdom save. 18. Okay. You feel like this moment of clarity, and the dragon kind of like arches its body so that the face is looking at you as you're falling, and the wings kind of like with their bits of flesh flapping in the beside its body. And Justin says, the catacombs, the ruins beneath the kingdom of Allestria. She's there, an elf of Fairhaven. She's a powerful elf. She's seeking life, everlasting. Joan, I don't know how much longer I can hold on. You get the sense that he's worried that the undead influence is going to take over before you guys hit the ground, and he'll right himself and keep from being destroyed. He's kind of like, can you help me in any way? Like, while I have like a moment in control.
I'm going to cast Flame Strike. So a vertical column of divine fire roars down from the heavens in a location you specify. Us.
Yep.
Each creature in a 10-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, they take 4d6 fire and 4d6 radiant. Wow. And half if it's a successful save.
Okay. You don't need to roll the dice. Okay. That's amazing. And the fact that he's kind of like opening himself up at this moment as well.
The hammer of dawn.
How do you want it to look? What do you want it to look like?
Well, I'm assuming we're falling kind of together.
He's kind of like almost like arched around, so you're like almost like in a little like dragon bowl.
Well, it's gonna come down on him,
Dragon
and
Ball
if
Z.
it hits me, it hits me.
Okay.
That's fine.
Cool. So like if you're cutting out like a wide shot here, bursting through the clouds.
We may
is this,
see it come down from the
massive
ship.
figure, and then we'll say like you guys on the ship see this like a radiant beam of fiery light just burst past, hits the clouds below, and then whooshes them all aside. So there's this big opening in the clouds, and you can all see down, and you see the figures as they're falling, and they get just slammed with that radiant energy, and there's this massive
fire and radiant.
Yes, this fiery radiant energy just hits. You hear this massive crash. You're currently flying over the western woods that are just to the west of Allestria. And so it's the only real like big woods in the central of Valterra. And so you hear like the cracking of massive trees, this big loud smash, some birds flying, of course, like in fear of this huge disruption to their home. And then immediately after that, you hear this almost like a ring or like a ping noise, and another whoosh of air kind of rocks the ship.
Like a shockwave?
And with an amber glow to it. Dalvin, you probably have the best picture of this, and there's no way you wouldn't watch the fall.
Of course.
And so you see the like a super bright orange like amber light flash when that big explosion happened.
From the source of the fall.
Yeah.
Or seemingly.
Yep. Is there anything that you guys do immediately after that happens?
I think I would yell to Winnie, Winnie, take us down! Joe's down there!
Now, real quick, Winnie.
Yes.
Landing the ship on the ground is not a good idea.
But we can go lower.
You can go lower, and in fact, you guys are close to the air dock. It's a 2-part dock that the Bloodbreakers have built at several places where they travel for resources.
Wow, we were that close.
Yes.
Okay.
And the air dock, I should say, is probably like a half day's ride away from the city, so you don't want to be like right there. Basically,
okay.
Goods would get transported to the dock, and there's a ground partition and an air partition. And the ship would connect to the air partition. Goods would travel up from the ground partition to the air partition into the ship. So the ship almost never leaves the air. It pretty much is magically afloat all the time.
Doesn't need landing gear that way, I guess.
It is seaworthy. It can. So it's like, so when you guys go to, when you go to Lestrade, it's pretty easy to just use the docks they have there. But
Called it the Duck.
I was gonna say it's like a duck boat, but
Cooler, hopefully.
it's like a duck boat, but no land.
Yeah.
yes.
Air and water.
So I will say you're probably
Okay, it's like literally any plane that can land on water.
you're probably
I don't know why I went
you're
to
probably
Glenwood.
less than an hour away from the air dock, and you do have a skiff, like a small skiff ship that can leave your ship to go retrieve Joan if you want.
I saw a feather fall, so like I can jump as soon as I think I'm close enough without dying.
Yes, you can. Yep. So you yelled at the
Yeah.
captain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I say Winnie.
Yep.
I'm less formal because
Yeah.
we're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like saying
How
it because
dare you.
I like saying it because
Just kidding.
who's the captain
Court
in this
martial
party
him.
has shifted.
No, I'm not giving an order. I'm panicking.
No. I'm saying Relnor used to be.
Oh, yes.
the captain.
Am I the captain?
You are.
the
Am I the
ship?
captain
Yeah.
now?
You're the captain.
Look
of
at
this.
me. Look at me.
This is your ship. This is your crew.
Okay.
So yeah, he yells that to you.
Mm-hmm.
You've also probably got several crew members like running around trying to heal and help anybody that's injured.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I guess I'll gesture to a couple of crew members that I know know that I would, of course, grab the ship and take it down. And I'm just like,
Lower the ship.
snap, point,
Yep.
and run over there with them to get it right.
Right,
the skiff.
You hear a little like boop, boop, boop. Tubi kind of pops up next to you,
Tubi.
and you hear in the voice of Blackhand. Are you saying something about taking us down?
Not the whole ship. You guys dock. We're going to take the skiff down.
Oh, you want us to prep the skiff?
Yes.
Okay. We can do that. There's a slight problem. Part of what the dragon raked was like the skiff dock. So you can leave with the skiff. It's gonna just be a bumpy exit is all. Like it'll be a hot exit, really fast and quick out of the dock.
Okay, here we go.
It won't be our typical nice smooth sailing, so.
We're in a hurry.
And you're leaving, Captain?
Yeah?
Okay. Who's in charge while
You're fine.
Who's in charge while you're gone? I should say it's like coming through like the two.
Klaus. Klaus is.
Good old Tinker Tool.
Is Klaus not like my default second?
He can be, yeah. I mean, he's the quartermaster, so
Yeah.
he's in charge of like all
Now
of
make
the
him the half master.
all of the
So
I would say all the details of running the ship. He understands.
Yeah.
So
Of course, because he captained his own. So
him and Lackhand are more or less like peers in terms of the hierarchy structure of your ship. But yeah,
But Lackhand hates being in charge.
she does. She really does.
So I don't ask her
and
to.
I would say she has her hand and golem arm pretty full
yes.
at the moment, managing Tubi.
Yeah. So I lean forward into the Tubi space and go, Klaus, it's all you, man.
Like a few seconds go by, and then you got it, Captain. Do what you got to do. I need to stop.
All the dwarves are all the gnomes are Flula. They're
Yeah.
all Flula
They're just
now.
all Fulaborg. Yeah.
So yeah, you get the all good from him, and Lackhand's taking over, lowering the ship, so that you guys can leave with the skiff pretty easily. Tubi won't accompany you on the skiff, so you won't have immediate communication with the ship.
Right.
But the flying crystals within the skiff are still totally usable.
Do I know where Winnie's going?
I mean, you probably can see what's happening. I would say you probably approached her after you yelled at
Winnie, what are you doing?
Come on, we're getting on the skiff.
Oh, okay, I follow.
her.
Done and done.
Relnor, as you're kind of moving through the crew quarters, I would assume probably helping people.
Yeah.
Or are you kind of wanting to get back and figure out what's going on up top?
I would have noticed that we're not like descending rapidly.
Yeah.
So we're not like crashing or anything like that.
Correct.
We're not off kilter or anything like that. So yeah, I would probably be kind of like helping people as I go, but not like, oh, do you want me to help you paint your bedroom?
No.
Like,
no.
Yeah. Taking a long detour.
No, you're making
Let's
sure
repair
nobody's...
that wall right now.
Yeah, I would say as you're making your way kind of probably to the deck of the ship to figure out like
Yep.
what else is going on, because you did hear the explosion from below.
Yeah.
You encounter a rather disturbed Minotaur blundering his way through the cabins. Partoon, he says, Relnor, what? This is... Something is wrong.
What's wrong?
Kind of sniffs the air. It's like, I don't know. Where is Joan?
Did I see her fall?
Roll me a perception check.
Through one of the big old holes
Yeah,
in the ship.
Through the big
Yeah,
hole.
I would say roll me a perception check with disadvantage, because I don't think you were like looking for one of your team members to be falling down with the dragon.
No, probably not.
You were very busy.
Did you roll 2 crit fails?
No.
Your face looked like 2 crit fails.
That would be wild.
Your face looks like
an
two
8. The other roll
God,
was a
that's
nat 20 plus 5, so 25.
It was disadvantage.
Oh. I forgot what that meant.
It takes me like a second to pick up on what's going on.
Yeah.
Love it. So, okay, Relnor, you have no reason to think she's fallen. Yeah.
She's probably still up on the deck.
Yeah. Very well.
We can go try to find her.
Do you? He says he kind of looks like he's lost in thought a little bit. He goes, "Do you sense anything with the other side of you?"
I kind of turn around and
It's
try to
weird.
look at my back.
The warden in you.
Josh, do I?
Roll me a. Let's do
Insight.
insight. Yeah. Or if you want, you can do Arcana, I suppose. Or no, animal handling if you want.
Roll
Hey.
some spicy animal handling.
Your call.
Well, those are all +1.
Well,
Tough
flavor
choice.
wise, tell me what you're doing. Like, how are you trying to connect to the warden in you?
I think Arcana, probably.
Okay. That'd be probably something you're more familiar with, magic.
Nat 20.
No way.
So 21.
This is Relnor, the full spectrum of dice rolls.
No, this season he's been rolling good.
Yeah.
Like pretty consistently. I
Okay.
think.
So
Knock on wood.
That you remember.
I'm going to be real honest. That is probably the first time I've rolled Arcana in my D&D life.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
Wow.
play casters very
Well,
often.
I think you should change to caster.
yeah.
Apparently so.
all right, Relnor, you are like trying to lock into something and you hear kind of a distant howl almost in your mind. And all of a sudden, it's like you're by a river that is just complete sewage. Like your eyes almost start to water. Like you're hit with something so dank and wrong that you almost lose your footing for you kind of have to lean on the wall for a second. And your eyes actually, anyone who saw you, probably just Partoon, your eyes actually go kind of like almost like reflective yellow for a second before returning back to normal.
Ooh.
It was like you almost connected too strong and you don't know how to control it yet, so you were overwhelmed by what you're sensing, but you definitely pick up on how wrong it feels.
I feel it. What is it?
I can't tell. I thought perhaps it was another immortal, but there is something unnatural here. I must speak to Joan, and he starts charging towards the steps to get up top. Do you follow him?
Yeah.
I'll say the two of you actually encounter Winnie and Dalphin as they make their way to the skiff.
Relnor, Partoon, hurry!
Where is Joan?
Joe, she fell.
She fell?
She fell.
You guys are at the skiff. You're kind of at that dock, and it is ripped. Like there's a huge like rake across where it would typically like the platform would be opened.
Yeah.
And so the opening is locked, and you'll basically have to ride the skiff through the broken opening that's there, and just try not to injure the skiff or the delicate crystals like on your way out.
Dalvin doesn't hesitate.
But Partoon doesn't hesitate either. He actually makes a full dash for the opening. Dalvin, you see him pull out his knife, and he slits his throat and throws himself overboard.
It's okay. He's got to go in fresh.
So you guys board the skiff. There's some crew members there.
That's really messed up.
There's some crew members there to help.
Winnie's
And,
eyes are huge.
And just messy. I think it's
Yeah, well, it's more like I say you don't see the mess so much. You just see him kind of almost like tuck his chin.
Yeah.
And then just yank.
Oh.
And you see like red, and then his
Boy.
body like almost like goes full limp and falls out
Yeah.
of the opening, maybe breaking a piece of like plank with him. And then you guys get in the skiff and you start on your way out. The skiff moves pretty slow. Who's piloting out of the three of you?
Me, I assume.
No, I don't know how to pilot a ship.
Or Relnor, do you want to drive?
No, you can drive.
Okay, I'm driving.
Okay.
I'm an excellent driver.
All right, Winnie, I need you to roll me either an Arcana or a survival check.
Okay, well, it's definitely not going to be survival.
Does she have proficiency in piloting?
I don't think so.
Okay. I wasn't sure if she.
It's not something you've really done much of.
Piloting?
Yeah.
Being a captain, I thought she would have a little more experience.
Well, but she has people who do
I mean,
the pilot.
That's a good point.
I like the helm. Being at the helm of a
Here's what I'll
giant
say.
ship is a lot different than driving a little
You
boat.
could
or
command a
little
crew
plane.
member that's there to do the piloting for you.
No, no.
Okay.
Hang on
I
one second.
have good plus Arcana. I'm gonna roll it.
I was gonna say because if Relnor is proficient, he should.
And then
he
if
should
we're all
take the
screwed, it's
wheel.
gonna be really fun.
Might be
Ready?
one of. No, hold on. Don't roll yet. I can't find it on my sheet.
Too bad. I'm rolling. Ready?
No, don't do it.
Winnie's
Set.
taking over.
Winnie's the
She's
captain.
not waiting for you to make a decision.
25.
Nice.
Hey, she's seen
You
enough.
have played around in this gift plenty. This is your ship. You know what you're doing.
I tinker.
Yep.
Relnor.
Rather than try and rely upon your sense of like spatial awareness and whatnot, you just fully integrate your sense of magic with the crystals.
Ooh, that's fun.
And let them do a lot of the heavy lifting,
Ooh.
like math, basically. So you just trust your magical control and more or less control them. And the skiff moves exactly how you want it to, just curving right out the opening, no problem.
Whee!
It will take you guys just a few minutes to get down.
So how? I was
a
going to
few
say, how
moments to
high
get down.
up are we?
You guys were in like cloud
Yeah.
territory,
Yeah.
so it's gonna take you a few minutes to get down. Partuna is going to beat you there for sure.
Yeah.
He fell.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, he jumped out the
the
opening.
minute he realized Joan fell, he left.
I thought he died on the skiff.
No.
That's why I was like, ugh.
No.
Okay.
No.
Why did he slit his throat?
He didn't want to feel the impact.
Oh, I guess.
So
yeah.
I mean,
Speed it up.
it's a bit of an immortal trick. Like it's like if he hits the ground, he'll die from the impact, and then he'll have to wait for his body to heal from that.
I mean, he's gonna
this
die from the
way.
impact anyway.
No, this way his body's already in the recovery process when he hits.
Okay.
It's almost like that. Like it's like that's 2 seconds of immunity to like damage, like that. And so he's
Second life.
This is a guy who's lived immortal
He
for
knows what he's
very
doing.
long.
Okay.
Yeah, he made a blow that would give him enough time to die right before he hits and get the healing going quickly. So now the inverse side of that, Joan is taking some time to heal. This is her first time being reborn after death.
Just a baby.
And Joan, we're actually going to jump into your subconscious.
Cuckoo gaga.
Oh dear.
You're not really a baby.
Oh,
You're-
but it would be great to have the whole
You're
thing in that
immortal.
voice.
No.
Your immortal,
Would not be
Yeah.
great.
your immortal rebirth happens at the time that
We'll be
you made
diapers.
the exchange. So you'll always. So now that you're immortal, you'll always be the age you were that you made the deal. That's why the old immortal librarian at the Orrery,
Yeah.
he made the exchange when he was pretty old and close to death. So he doesn't get a whole lot of time between.
He keeps
rebirths.
dying of old age.
So sad.
So it's not a perfect deal. Anyway, I mean, you made it at a good time, prime of your life. You know what I mean?
What can I say?
Question. If you're old like that dude, though, do you regenerate quicker? Because you don't have to regenerate as much from like backwards from where you died.
I mean, yes, absolutely.
That's cool.
Like you guys saw him keel over just from old age and then get up just a couple
and
moments
just
later.
like he woke up. Yeah.
And when he gets up, he's still old, but he's spry. Like it's like the best form of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a good couple years, maybe months, of
old
just
plus.
depending on how strenuous he pushes himself. So
Okay, sorry. I was just curious.
Anyway, so Joan, we're in your subconscious, and actually, it's not your subconscious. If you remember, this orb wasn't yours to start with.
Oh, yeah.
It contained a soul previous to yours, and you actually find yourself in a sensory memory of Jimmy's. You feel yourself sitting on the beach of a small lake. Mm-hmm. There's a sense of calm in you, but you also feel your life draining slowly as something is gripping your throat. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this is more senses than it is images. So you know that there's people talking, there's things happening, but you can't identify who or what. There's one moment of clarity in the memory where you sense a rip happen, like in the fabric of the world. And in Joan's memory, the one time you remember that happening with that kind of ripping, tearing sound was when Joshua saved you guys from Terra Soul in the soul realm. That was the same kind of like world-ripping sound. And then you feel almost heavy pain deep inside, almost like heartache, but enough to kill you. And everything starts to fade. And just as you kind of start to get vision within the memory, your eyes see Relnor stepping out of the waters. And you can kind of almost like muffled hear like Jimmy handing him the orb and telling him to give it to you. And then you're back in your body, and I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. I'm looking for a 15 or higher. And this is to kind of get back in control of your body, basically, to fully wake up.
It would be a 4.
Okay. It's almost like sleep paralysis. Like you're fully aware that you're asleep and that you're trying to wake up, but you don't have full control of your body yet.
Yeah.
And you are out of the sensory memory. You can hear the surrounding like environment, the cracking of like branches that are still falling after you guys and whatnot. And you can actually start to feel like the warmth of your orb. But then in present time, you hear a very similar ripping sound. It doesn't have the kind of magical ethereal sound. It feels more visceral. And just as your eyes start to open, you see a figure rip a big gash from within the dragon's body. And a tall, thin form in very like beautiful, elegant, like purple and gold robes that are now covered in
Dragon
the viscera
guts.
from
Undead
inside
dragon
an undead
mush.
dragon. Yeah.
Ew.
Kind of steps out and long, thin white hair and a porcelain feminine mask covering the face with two little holes for the eyes. Kind of like steps out, and the only thing without any kind of like gore or viscera on it is the porcelain mask. And this figure kind of like long hands kind of like pulls it open, really like as gruesome as this whole experience is to witness. There's an elegance to the movement, almost gliding out and stepping over. And I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw against the hold person.
You can do it.
It's a 20.
19.
Oh, so close.
This is all happening while you guys are gathering yourselves
Right.
to head down.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because I want to jump from the skiff as soon as I'm about like
So Joan,
60 feet up.
you're coming to yourself, but you don't have the ability to fully access your magic. You're still so discombobulated, and the figure leans down close to you and wraps its hands around your orb, and you hear a voice from within the mask say,
A shame. A shame. You've ruined it. But I'm not through yet.
and you feel like a finger like touch your head, and it says,
What I wouldn't give to take you back to my laboratory. This will have to suffice.
and then she pulls a dagger out from her robe and slices the world open, very similar to how you guys have kind of teleported with the blue crystals.
Yeah.
And she pauses and looks back and says, I'm in the city. Do come and find me, dear girl. And boom, right then, Partoon hits
Here
the
he
ground,
comes.
and he's already got his axe out and roars as he swings it at this person. A huge magical wall like
Good man.
goes up in front of her, and the two of them stare at each other for a moment. And he roars and casts counterspell. She casts counterspell, and then she steps into the space, and it slices closed.
I was waiting for him to drop in.
Good job, Partoon.
Yeah, so there's Partoon. He's fully healed, though he does have a lot of blood.
But he's probably some broken legs too.
No, he's fine.
He landed on his feet like
Oh
a cat.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
He didn't do like a superhero landing. It was definitely like a crash of a landing, but the orb was glowing as he hit. And so
Yeah.
he was in healing magic, getting restored, so it didn't do much damage. Shortly after, Joan, you're freed from the hold person immediately when she's gone, but your orb is gone, and there is this...
The orb is
She
gone.
took my orb.
She took your orb. There is this, like, you don't feel any kind of physical pain, but there's a loss of something deep that you're, like, almost like a terror.
Rude.
Yeah, that very unsettling.
Like when you leave your phone at home.
Yeah, I think almost Partoon's reaction almost kind of clued you in that, like, this is really bad what's happening.
Now you know how the naked man felt.
Joshua.
The guy that Null took us to.
Yeah, I don't really care about him.
Yeah.
That's when, like, Relnor had his orb and he was,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
really
I
intense
was
about
like,
getting it
yeah.
back.
But yeah, you're right. I do know how he feels now.
But Joan, I will say, like, as you're kind of getting up, you do have an innate sense of where it is in the world.
Oh, I have GPS. Great.
Yeah. So you know it is, generally speaking, in the direction of Allestria. Partoon is kind of like helping you get up, and as you guys are kind of getting to your feet, the skiff arrives.
I jump off.
Can I say something to Partoon?
Yeah.
Who was that?
I do not know, but I think she's a warden.
Ugh.
But also, there is something very wrong. I cannot tell. I'm sorry, Joan, I could not get here fast enough.
No, it's. I don't hold that against you.
What now? He kind of looks to you guys that have just arrived.
I jump off the skiff.
Yeah, you're there.
Joan, you're alive.
Well, yeah, but somebody took my orb.
Orb. You're immortal.
She is. We are kin now.
Ooh. Holy cow. I was so worried.
As
Wait,
first
you're-
times go, that would be a fairly epic, if not for the unfortunate effect.
Oh, it can still turn epic.
Wait, unfortunate what? What happened?
She took my orb.
Who took your orb?
creature.
Creepy,
A creature?
creepy lady with the long fingers and the porcelain mask that wasn't covered in dragon. She came outside of the dragon.
She was
Wait, what?
inside the dragon?
She was inside the dragon. She came outside the dragon. She was covered in its insides, except for her little porcelain mask. But she's like dressed in like these.
It sounded like you were about to puke explaining it just then.
This is so good. And she's like in these fancy robes, and then she like put hold person on me, and then she was like, "Come find me." So I wish I could have experimented on you in my lab. And
Where'd she go?
This will have to do. Come find me. And then she sliced open the world with this dagger, kind of like we do with the crystals, but like with a dagger. And then Partoon came up and was like,
I did. That's exactly me.
I've never seen you that motivated, Partoon.
Yeah.
he's got a duty to
So
fulfill.
you know this lady?
Perhaps. I can't be certain.
The whole time you were talking, Winnie's like, because you're telling a story like Winnie.
As I'm talking, I'm like, gosh, I sound like Winnie.
I had hoped you would know her.
Well, now I do, because she's got my orb, and I can sense where it's at.
Yes. That is true. She's not an immortal, whatever she is.
Could I see the dagger that she used?
I mean, roll me a perception check.
Dude, Dolphin wants that dagger. So
You want all the daggers.
I want all the daggers. The daggers, they keep getting cooler.
Only 8.
Only 8?
Yeah.
Not really. Ornate, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but that's probably the most you got out of it. The crystal wasn't the blade. It was imbued in the blade.
Oh.
That's all you know.
Well, why are you guys down here?
Oh, I thought you were dead.
I told you guys I had the orb.
I know, but I didn't think about it too long.
We've
Like
been
many
split up.
things in his life.
We've
That
been,
was scary, man.
we've been split up too many times.
Well,
I
thanks,
love it.
guys.
I had planned for you guys whether you stick together or not, but I love that your goal was to stick together. I love that.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that.
And we figured you'd want to lift after, falling and stuff.
Yeah.
Walking all the way to the city probably wouldn't be the funnest of times.
Yeah. If you guys are, I know we have to investigate
Yeah, now we got a double mission.
Bordu's murder, but I'd also really like some help fighting this lady because she's much more powerful than I am.
And why'd she attack us in the first place? Just get the orb?
It seems like it. So I feel like it's my fault. I am sorry, Winnie. I'm sure it did some damage to the Harris.
Nah, it gives Tubi and Lackhand something to do.
And the Tubi needs
This-
a lot to do.
Being was powerful one way or another.
Yeah, I could
And-
use all the help I could get.
If you had not made the deal with the orb, there's a chance she might have gotten it before you could have. I'd say this was good timing.
I'm learning how to trust my gut.
Woo woo.
You will have much time to continue that practice.
I don't know if what you do is trusting your gut.
That's all I do.
Does your gut have time to register
Nope.
before you
My gut
act?
I think what you
I
do
often
is
have irritable bowel
impulse.
syndrome.
I think trusting your gut and impulsivity are not necessarily the same thing.
Winnie, you know that the ground partition of the air dock is a little bit away, but you guys could also try and catch up with the ship in your skiff.
You just take the skiff to Allestria.
Yeah.
Just go straight to Allestria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was supposed to be like a putt-putt noise.
Okay. So you're not going to stop off at the ship at all?
Why?
No. We'll
Did we
meet them
forget
there.
something?
What's that?
Did we forget something?
No.
Wood whoa.
That guy's weird. I don't know.
No, I just wasn't sure if you guys wanted to touch base with the crew or anything like that beforehand.
We can't get that orb.
I mean, Klaus,
Thank you.
I
I
very
agree.
much trust Klaus.
Okay. Do you have any means of communication with them? If
You're the DM.
Did you get
you know what?
Did you get a little mini tubie?
No, you know what?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Actually,
Like a little
we may
transponder.
not have covered this, but Tubi, if any piece of Tubi leaves the ship, it
It's-
reverts.
Yeah.
So it has
Oh,
to.
okay.
It has to be
Okay.
integrated for Tubi to
Gotcha.
be able to interact.
There's no long range tubie.
He doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
He doesn't asexually reproduce.
No.
He can't split
He just-
into like an amoeba
He
and
just
make a
grow,
new amoeba.
with attachments to the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Lackhand has a message, so you have spellcasters on board.
I have send and message.
Yeah.
I think I forget.
Oh yeah, sending's kind of like the beefy version of that, isn't it?
Yeah, I have sending. I don't.
Okay,
Is
cool.
message
no
a
worries.
Because I used to shout at these guys. Remember before we had our little in-head
messages,
intercoms?
Yep. Cool. All right. Yeah, you guys are good to. If you just want to take the skiff into the city, you can totally do that.
No time to waste.
So yeah, the 5 of you make your way toward Allestria. Eventually, you find yourself kind of right underneath the ship and above the ground partition. How high would you say you're flying?
Hi. high enough that we're not hitting the trees.
Yeah. Okay.
But also low enough that Winnie, when she looks straight up, can just barely see the damage, and she's like, ugh.
It's like bothering you, the damage of the ship. Cool.
It just feels like it's like the Golden Gate Bridge. We're always fixing or painting something. Just not
Sound like Mom and Dad.
You finish it, you start back over on the other side. That is a direct quote from our parents about painting their house.
Yep.
Right on. You guys are on your way then to Allestria. It's a pretty chill ride, I should say. If you guys want to count it as a short rest, you can. As you start to approach, Allestria used to be the biggest kingdom in Altera.
It's an ingredient in potato chips.
It was the central hub for all goods and trade. And so it was run by a merchant council, and they had a queen who was kind of the queen of all
that's where we
Altera.
had the final battle.
This is where the final battle.
Okay.
The last time all four of you were here together was the Battle of Sol.
Yeah.
And so some of those memories do kind of creep in as you guys approach and get closer. However,
it's been 6 years. It's pretty well rebuilt, right?
it's fairly well rebuilt. Still some things in construction. Much of the stone walls of the kingdom have been, since they were mostly destroyed anyway, most of them have been teared down and repurposed as kind of waist-high walls for the different crop fields and different pieces of property.
Nice.
You guys are coming from the west wood, and to the north and the east of Allestria is just a lot of fields. It's more agrarian, and I would say that's the side they've leaned into since the battle.
Sure.
So this is much more agrarian society.
Is this where the royalty has now been doing charity work?
Yes.
Okay.
The Order of the Yellow Rose is the
yeah.
Queen's. It's like the Red Cross of Altera.
Aw.
It's very humanitarian, supportive, trying to help people recover after the war. Their central hub is still in Allestria.
Cool.
And Allestria is now not run by a merchant council. It's run by a whole slew of counselors, something like 50-something counselors who represent different groups and guilds and districts of the city. So the queen is still the queen, but she's handed over almost all authority and control to the council. But I will say it's probably one of the smallest kingdoms now in terms of the city. Landmass, it's got tons of fields, but most of it is just fields and farming. As you guys approach, you see that the outer wall is now a big wooden wall structure built around it. Not even half the size of the stone one, but it is city size. It's pretty massive still. There is some stone buildings that clearly have two types of stone, because there's the original stone and then the recovered building made with the rest of the stone. There's still some scaffolding on some of the bigger buildings that are being worked on, some new structures, probably close to the edges of this.
I forget, did we have a lead on where we were going to check first about concerning Bordeaux, or do we want to focus on the orb?
Getting my orb might be beneficial.
Before
Do you
we
want us to
fight
have this
anything
conversation in
go ahead.
character?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well,
Orb first?
selfishly, I'm inclined to find the orb first, but also not selfishly, that might be beneficial for all of us if I had it. And also, we don't really even know where to begin with Bordeaux.
If it comes to a fight, it would be nice to have the orb
I couldn't
on
remember
hand.
if we had any kind of lead once we got to the city. I don't remember. But
There is a chance that these two things are not unaffiliated.
That's
possible.
true.
What is the implication of this individual having Joan's orb?
I am uncertain.
It doesn't feel great.
As far as I understood, it was impossible for... it is deeply unsettling when we are separated from our orb. I don't know that any of us have ever pushed the limits to discover what that means in the long term. If our regenerative abilities are wounded by distance or not. But there's a reason I have bound mine to myself the way that I have. And his orb floats between his horns.
Right.
Instinctively, we fight for it if it is gone, and there is little else we are interested in.
can I tell him about the time that Null took us down to that seal and we found... Who was it? Was it
Joshua.
Joshua without his orb? And the state he was in?
Yep.
Does that interest him at all?
Very much. He knows Joshua,
Yeah.
and that is interesting. I wonder if his emaciated form was due to the powers he was trying to control, or if it was due to his separation from his orb.
Yeah.
Maybe a combination.
How you feeling, Joan? You feeling emaciated?
Not yet.
Oh, good.
A little forlorn.
Looking good. A little forlorn. You look beleaguered.
Yeah, it's like there is something wrong, but it's not like you can pinpoint it yet.
Yeah, like feeling a funk.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe like a little melancholy.
Yeah, like clinical depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except you don't know that, but that's what it is.
Maybe Joan has clinical depression. You don't know.
With the orb, though.
Orb depression.
Yeah.
Separation anxiety.
Separation anxiety from my orb.
Not depression.
I don't know how Jimmy was somehow killed or removed from his orb. That is uncertain to me.
He gave it up, didn't he?
Yeah, I saw a vision of.
Didn't Ronor say that he gave it to
Felt a
him?
vision? I don't know. You were coming out of some water, and he handed you the orb, and he said, "Give this to Joan."
Hold on.
saw it?
Hold on. Partoon's super interested in this. You witnessed through his eyes.
Jimmy's?
Yes.
Kind of. It wasn't super visual. It was more like sensory. Josh's words, not mine.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and I saw that guy, pointing at Relnor, coming out of some water. Thank goodness he was clothed.
One thing is clear. This is a being of uncertain power, and they are connected to undeath in some manner. And apparently have an interest in our undeath.
Do you feel like my vision was related to this figure, or was that related to my, rebirth?
Oh, there's too many things happening to know what's connected and what's not.
I tend
We
to
need a
say
control.
all is affirmative until proven negative.
I don't think that's true at all.
Everyone is the murderer until we discover who the murderer is.
Yes. Proceed with caution.
Yes. I've lived for thousands of years, and this is a first.
The mention of the lab and the knife that can cut through space
Yeah.
makes me think we need to reach out to Truffle and see if somehow someone's gotten a hold of his technology. Because, who else has that but him?
That's a good
it seems
point.
kind of ironic that we would see another being with that same ability after he invented it. I wonder if he had anything go missing, or, you know what I mean? Maybe he would have a lead on who this person is.
That's not a bad idea there, Delph.
Okay. How do we
have
get
a way
a
to
hold of him?
communicate with Truffle?
We just talked about that.
You each have a return crystal, right?
Yeah, but we don't want to do that.
But it's a one-way
that's
ticket.
the thing, it's a one-way.
And there's only enough for each of you to do it once.
Yeah.
But
Is his supply unlimited?
You do have spells for communicating.
Do you have comms to the ship anyway?
I can send a message. I can use sending to talk to Lackhand.
Would they have a way of contacting Truffle?
They have the same magical tools that
I
Winnie
could
has.
just use sending to Truffle.
Is there a
That's
range?
silly.
I don't know spells. Is there a range limit on sending or message?
On message,
Plane
it's
of-
line of sight, but
Okay.
on
But
On
sending,
sending
is
is
plane of-
anybody on the same plane.
plane of existence. So
yeah, Penny, if you could reach, or Winnie, if you could reach out
Yeah.
to Truffle.
Would you consider Delphin on
Happily.
the same plane of existence as the rest of us?
No.
generally, physically,
Physically, yes.
metaphysically, no. Theoretically, suspiciously.
Oh, JK,
Hyperactively.
you can sending goes to any plane. It just has to be a creature, with
Oh.
which you are familiar.
someone you know.
However, there's a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive if it's cross planes. So
it's
there's a
not
little
That's right.
interference.
It's not two
Yes,
ways.
that's right.
The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately.
Excellent. Okay.
That's why I like sending more than message.
But I'm limited to 25 words or less.
Yeah, do
So
that
that's
to
the
Truffle.
problem. Okay. Well, I'm not going to say, hey, Truffle. How was my message? Guys,
Truffle.
Guys,
Yo,
what do you...
dog.
Yeah, because
What's up?
here's the thing. He knows who he
It's
is.
me.
It's
me.
Truffle knows who he is. He's
Hope
going to
you
inherently
are
know
having-
who's sending it. So you can just cut right to the chase.
Yeah. What am I asking you guys? Help me.
Oh,
Hey, Truffle. It's me. Winnie.
Relnor?
how are you? I've been well.
Would you like some help, Winnie?
You could say,
Yes, please.
you could say,
Has anyone...
we ran into someone who has a dagger that can cut through space. Have you had any technology
Would
go
you-
missing?
Or would you have any leads?
You didn't count any of those words.
No, but that's fine.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Josh,
All
you
right.
gonna count?
I'm calling.
Tried to, but you talk too fast.
I'm sending to Truffle.
Dialogue.
He answers.
Sorry, editor, if that was
I'm
in
just
the
gonna
mic.
use my regular voice and just say this is what you hear from him. Is that
Yeah,
cool?
that's fine,
Because
yeah.
I don't do the German stuff.
Aw.
All right, fine. I'll be Truffle.
Aw, do it for me.
All right. No, it's fine.
Okay. Saw a lady cut space with a dagger. What could that be? Do you know where we could find her or the dagger.
How many is that?
That's like 24.
Oh,
I thought that was 23, but close enough.
Holy moly.
No, that's one word. It's hyphenated.
Holy moly.
Nice.
Holy
Yes.
moly.
Holy moly. That's crazy talk. Only I'm having the space cutting stuff. Nobody but me should have that.
Did you count nobody as one word or two?
2.
It's one.
Okay.
I'm at 17.
We should have asked him to do an inventory check of his stuff. Hopefully he will with this information.
I think he will.
Yeah.
Very not cool.
20. You got 5 more, Truffle.
This is Truffle Bundle.
Love you. Bye.
Yo.
Bye. Truffle out.
Yeah, no help. Right then, you get a sending from Lacan.
Okay.
Captain, the line was busy. Been trying to reach you. Shoot, I'm running out of words.
Oh no. Gosh, panicking.
Going to do this again.
When he responds, it goes, okay.
Here's the thing. We've all left messages like that. We've all been like, I wish I could start
just
this
the
over.
letter K, no punctuation. K. K.
Captain, Lackhand again. Big problem. Air dock empty. Blood everywhere. What else?
So someone attacked the air dock?
No bodies. Pretty scary. What we do.
What we do.
Can't remember how many words.
Yeah.
You got 6 more. You got 6 more.
We're on our way.
So you turn around to go back to the
Where are we going?
to the air dock.
Yeah, everybody in the skiff.
Why?
We got to go back to the air dock. There's been some sort of massacre.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you guys make your way back to the
I
air
guess
dock.
so.
I mean, that's what
It's your call.
That's
Yeah.
our duty
You're
as
the
a
captain.
captain.
Does
Yeah.
anybody go, or is everybody like, to the air dock?
I mean, I'm gonna run. I'll join for now. I don't want to
join for now.
I don't want to
Where
split
are
the
you
party
going?
up. I want to go off the orb.
We will.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I also feel like we're just one step behind whoever this person is if it is connected. And I
She
feel
has
like
my
we're-
orb. She knows
I feel
we're
like
coming.
we're just following their trail.
On. The dock is a half day away that we just took that.
No,
No, we
No.
just flew
No.
underneath it. We,
No. We were a half day from the dock.
You're
No,
actually
no,
from
no,
the
no.
city.
The dock is
The
a
dock is
half day from the city.
Yeah, you guys were getting to the place.
That's exactly what I said before everyone.
We were
You
in the
guys,
city.
you guys weren't to the city yet. You were on the outskirts. You were on your
We're
way.
in the
Like
woods.
you
We
could,
just flew under the
you
ship.
could
Yeah.
see the city, but you weren't close enough there. You were still on your way there.
Okay,
We
so
just remember we
and I
saw
will
the
say-
damage on the ship.
I will
like,
say
as we
this:
flew under.
the skiff moves significantly faster than the ship. Like,
Oh, okay.
the ship moves steadily, but the skiff is like zoom,
zoom, zoom.
like a speeder.
Okay.
So we were on our way to the city.
Yeah, you guys
Then we turned
bypassed
around.
the ship,
Sorry.
and
So we turn. You want to turn around and go back to the. Go to the
Yeah.
dock. Okay.
We're
Yeah,
most-
that's fine.
We're mostly ascending, right? We don't have to go back a whole lot before we go up.
no, you guys haven't gotten super far. Like
Okay.
I'd say, you can get back there pretty quick. And it
Really
doesn't
should have
sound
asked
like
that before.
it didn't sound like anything was happening actively. It just sounds like they arrived at the dock and
Yeah.
Don't know what to do because
Yeah,
there's no one there.
it's
Part
like
of
pretty
part
scary.
of my thinking though is that we're like on our way to the city and we're going, we have no idea where to go or what to do, and then we hear like the air dock is empty, and it's like, okay, let's go figure out what happened there first.
everybody roll me a quick perception check.
Mayhap someone is trying to keep us from the city.
Winnie with disadvantages because you've been communicating with other people
My head's busy.
magically.
18.
13.
17.
Okay, Dalphin and Joan. Probably because Dalphin isn't really interested in going backwards, and Joan because her orb is in the direction of the city. You guys are much more focused on the city in front of you as you guys are like approaching it. And I will say, as the skiff turns around, the two of you do note, kind of like almost like you just pin this. You don't see any people working fields. You don't see anybody guarding the front gates
Oh,
in
dear.
the distance. As you hear that there's something wrong, back there, you also get the sense that there may be something wrong up ahead.
I'm afraid we're chasing the tail of all this craziness going on. I feel like we need to go to the source.
Hey, guys. Mm-hmm. There's nobody.
What do you mean?
Nobody in the fields.
Look around. Like, do you see guards up there?
No.
Do you see people in the fields?
Relnor, what do your wolf eyes see?
Ow! You're welcome, editing team.
I sniff the air a little bit.
This feels in concert with the unsettling feeling that you and Partoon felt aboard the ship. There's something kind of an aura around this whole area.
I'm gonna pull out my hand crossbow and kick the safety off.
Okay.
We need to go to the city.
What are you doing? Are you doing anything?
No,
Okay, just ready.
I'm just ready.
That's cool.
You're ready with a crossbow when there's no one around.
No, he's right. There is something wrong here, Joan.
Sorry, guys. I just don't.
Is there a reason no one's around?
This is not my forte.
Guys, we need to go to the
I will
city.
leave you alone.
You guys arrive at the air dock shortly, or Winnie, your call.
Yeah, we're still going to the air dock.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Okay,
Dalvin.
that's okay. You're the captain. Aye.
And
Get your own
Winnie,
ship.
Winnie, as we're headed up to the dock, she's like, "All right, look, clearly we're heading into extreme danger. We're gonna have to regroup and think this through for just a sec before we turn around."
Yeah, rethinking. I get it.
Okay.
That would require you to think the first time.
Oh, he does. Look how thoughtful he is.
He's thinking about my orb.
Yes.
He's so thoughtful. He's
Winnie,
thinking about my
roll
orb.
me
I was thinking about the city.
a dex save.
Ooh, boy.
What?
Dodge something with the ship. 12.
The
Can I give her the help action?
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to roll again?
Sure. Do I have to go with whatever I roll the second time?
No, help is just advantage basically.
13.
Okay, one more.
A little better.
We'll say
Sorry, Dalvin.
That's all right.
the skiff gets hit by a blast from the ground partition. It's almost like an energy blast,
Like a protective thing?
almost like my magical fire blast that hits the airship and causes it to shift. And I need everybody to roll. I think, what would it be to hang on? Everybody roll an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Oh, jeez.
15.
11.
Also 15.
10.
Okay.
Can I?
Partoon rolled a crit fail.
Well, can I also roll to see if I see where the blast came from exactly?
It's very clear where it came
Okay,
from.
okay.
It came from the ground partition of the air dock.
Okay.
The air dock has it's a structure that has an upper floor that can basically travel from the air to the ground.
Yeah.
That's where everything
So
gets transported.
Are we over it, or was it a ways off?
You guys are over it. You guys were over it, so you're getting hit from below. So
So can we see anything except the floor of the
no,
skiff?
you couldn't see the shot coming because you weren't. You're looking at the air
Right.
partition, so you get hit. Your skiff now goes down.
How high up are you?
Particularly because Winnie was hit and she's knocked from the Winnie and Joan, and for sure Partoon. I'm gonna say Partoon. He's completely loses. He's so top heavy.
Yeah.
He loses all balance and he ends up actually swinging wide and hitting both Joan and Winnie, who fall off with him.
No.
And
Can
now
I-
the two of you are on the skiff.
I leap off.
You leap off.
Yeah.
All right, Ronor, you're alone on the skiff.
I leap towards the blast.
I'm gonna land the
source of the
skiff.
Okay, roll me we'll do survival or Arcana.
As when he falls, save the skiff. Just kidding.
I'll do survival then.
But you could add your proficiency.
So 13.
13, it's rough, but yeah, you're able to bring the skiff down. Everybody else, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I jumped off. Can I grapple Winnie midair?
Yeah,
Okay. Do I need to roll for that?
I mean, no, unless Winnie doesn't want you to grab her.
No. Okay.
Are you kidding me? I trust Dolphin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and just protect her as I use Featherfall.
Aw.
Okay.
Or not Featherfall, but what's it called? Slowfall.
Yeah. And I guess you and Partoon are fine.
I was gonna say I'm not worried about them. They're immortal.
Is Featherfall a spell?
No, it's Slowfall. I apologize.
Oh, Slowfall.
It's a monk
okay.
ability.
It's like Featherfall work for everybody, but
I
yeah.
basically subtract damage from
okay.
my fall.
So Joan,
Bye!
you and Partoon are quickly run into all the trees and hit everything and crash down heavy to the ground. Do you want to just take damage, or you want to just go for full-on restart?
Full on restart.
Okay. Then yeah, you and Partoon both do the whole head
I
first fall.
feel like this one's going to go better than the last
It
one.
will. It will.
So
Yes.
I'm fine
yes.
with it.
Dalphin, you do your super cool monk thing.
And again, it subtracts damage, so I don't know how much damage I would have taken
Okay.
into this fall.
Roll me an acrobatics.
Okay.
When,
Like a
when he's hanging
monk
on you so
acrobatics.
hard, her knuckles are like.
Oh, there we go. That's the stuff. 24.
Woo!
24. Okay.
That
yeah. I'm gonna say you guys
Hold on tight.
avoid all damage, and you're able to like do just really cool monk. Like you kind of run down
Kicking off
one of the
stuff
tallest
and trying to
trees,
slow
jump
myself down.
Yeah, kind of like swing, grapple. Like you do a whole bunch of cool stuff. Winnie, as you guys are like flying through the trees really quickly like that, you're just kind of hanging on for dear life with Dalphin.
Yeah.
As he's moving really fast, you're seeing like everywhere he steps and kicks off of, there's a little plume of like amber yellow leaves that like explode from the spots he's hitting and touching. There's very like a one with nature kind of thing. You hit the ground, and as you guys land, Joan, as you start to like wake up, Relnor, as you start to come down, you all notice standing at kind of the entrance of the ground partition of the air dock
That shot at us?
is a massive stone golem with a sickly looking green crystal in its chest. And it is like, it's elven design. You may have seen the light
no.
at Fairhaven when you guys visited, like patrolling. This one looks very tanky. It's got almost like a domed head that can swivel, like do a full 360.
Like Juggernaut?
Yes,
Ugh,
and
creepy.
And its arms are. It is the exact same design as Lakan's arm. So she basically repurposed a golem arm. So it has those arms that can multi-purpose and like turn into different things it needs.
Nice.
So it had a cannon one that's kind of smoking, and it kind of turns and like locks and looks at you guys. And I need everybody roll initiative, and that's it for this episode.
Yeah, boy.
Next time we'll figure out what happened. Thank you everyone for listening to the Titans of Altera. As always, I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Go around the table. We have
June.
Delphin.
Winnie!
Relnor.
Thanks everybody.